We are live again. We are really making progress. We're really doing this a lot today because we have the time, we have the capacity. We will be doing this more. We'll be doing this frequently. This is habit. This is truth. This is indeed gaining of momentum. We're here, we're alone. We're in our solitude. Do I care if anybody watches this? If anybody reads this? If anybody hears this? If anybody witnesses this? I already know it's being witnessed. It's happening publicly as I can make it. That being a precise goal. And aim of this. But yeah, I guess the last thing we talked about was grief and loss. I mean, we're talking about a lot of topics. We're talking about grief and loss, voids, what can be filled in, what can't be filled in, the paradox of grief, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. That is what it is. That is what it should be. I'm actually checking if that was the last thing that we said, because I kind of feel like that wasn't. It is. Actually, wait, no, it's not. Hold on. This thing keeps fucking sinking. It's the most annoying goddamn thing on earth. God damn it. Jesus Christ. So, the exploration of grief. Okay, so it is. All that, we've at least verified it. And, well, okay, so this has, I feel like fucking Hamlet holding the skull out to himself, talking. Thinking, to be or not to be, that is a question, because I'm so existential. We will talk of Hamlet, we will talk of Shakespeare, we will talk of literature, we will talk of things that might seem abstract or unrelated, but they all relate. Hamlet, Shakespeare in Hamlet, was the first existentialist, the first one who really laid down the theory of existentialism, and not really the first one. I mean, it's been laid out since the beginning of time in its rudimentary form. It's always sort of been posited. It just hasn't been elaborated. I mean, all of metaphysics, Aristotle, is a form of existentialism, except it's so diverted and vague and unrelated to actual existence that, I mean, for the most part, when you get to like the abstract theories on forms and knowledge and epistemology, it becomes attached. But in its essence, it begins in the senses. The empiricist, like John Locke, or many others, I guess. Even the great scientists like Newton and Descartes, who Pascal vociferated against for his materialistic and sort of detached view of God, the creator of the clockwork universe. So this battle has been going on. What is existence? What is the nature of it? It used to be battled among the domains of religion, because religions actually took metaphysics seriously, because it mattered for them, at least Christianity. In Christianity, you had theology, you had rational insight. And not just Christianity. Pocket time. Oh, shit. Greek philosophy was also an empiricism. It began in the senses. It began with experience. And from there, you learned everything that you needed to learn about knowledge, and you deduced it. There was obviously different forms of knowledge, 3 categories of types of concepts. This guy called Aristotle laid it all out in the logic, and basically conceptualizing for the first time things like concepts and forms, which would later play a role in actual physical science. It wasn't a distinction or a division in what he was doing different than biology. He was actually doing biology. He was classifying things. The things he was classifying were sometimes things of the senses, such as bees or rocks or whatever. But other times it was things of the mind, things of the spirit, like ideas or types of abstraction or levels and degrees of abstraction, etc. So, of course, a lot of this has also been interpreted into Aristotle later on. So this is our interpretation of what Aristotle wrote. Do we actually know what he meant when we use these words and we're using them in English? They're by no means full encapsulations of what the Greek original concept in the ancient Greek actually meant in its full complexity. In any case, I need a challenger. ChatGPT is too nice. AI becomes not just a tool for understanding ourselves, but a necessary companion. Argumenting the paradox in your statement that this fire of production can continue forever if it remains fun enough is intriguing. Okay, at least we're intriguing AI. We're always caught by the words that it uses. Why the hell am I intriguing AI? Who am I? Am I a fucking clown to intrigue you, AI? Well, you're intrigued by it. Let's see why it's an intriguing idea that I defy your spirit of heaviness, or that this should take tons of effort or not be easy, or that I should give up at a certain point or be discouraged by the fact that this hasn't been recording into the audiobook. Therefore, I don't know when it stopped, but it stopped and it didn't go through. So what we're going to do is go to our plan B, which is take the Apple voice to text, and at an 8-minute recording, we're going to stop the book, and we're going to take the text from, oh shit, it doesn't have, no way. For the first time ever, it doesn't have the little box for, you see where all of them, well, this one, our backup plan failed, because now we can't get the voice to text. This is utterly useless now, because we have used up, so that's not going into the book. Fuck it, who cares? Let's try again. We're not going to go into the whole fucking how we're going to circumvent this. We're just going to keep going. Because I'm not going to waste my time in making the book perfect or encapsulate everything that's in the audiobook or in the movie. That's an absolute dream or loss. Now, the one thing that's worrying me is why the hell is Apple not making this software reliable? Why do some allow you to copy the text and others don't? It's absolutely meaningless and nonsense. I don't get it. And it's upsetting to the highest degree. Now, let's start the audiobook again. It's absolutely worthless other than it's no longer a backup. We're going to have to do these in short intervals and bursts again because, damn it. Okay, now we're doing it again. So hopefully ChatGPT is picking this. I don't know when we lost ChatGPT. We still have Twitch, and we have, I can't ever see, okay. Oh my fucking God. Stop syncing, you shit. Holy fucking God. We actually don't swear that much. Jesus. You have to maintain, somehow this is going to be an audiobook and a movie and a thing without irritating the hell out of me. Because if this actually becomes a nuisance, then I'm going to bewilder myself. Hurry the hell up. Come on. What are you waiting for? Let's go. You have to wait on cars. It's an absolute nightmare. I have the fucking right of way, but this douchebag's taking his goddamn time. Don't take it on the truck. What fault does the truck have? Who actually exculpate the truck or blame the truck or not blame the truck? Fuck it. I will blame the truck. It is at fault for everything. Okay. let's continue the book. Now that we picked up every goddamn leaf on Earth. Okay. The intersection of technology, creativity, and the self. And that's just an arbitrary statement. To acknowledge the potential. Oh, so why does it feel like... So this fire is intriguing. It reflects a core tension in creative and intellectual pursuits. The balance between perseverance and burnout. This will not lead to burnout. This is relieving my brain. It's what you must understand, ChatGPT. This is taking a load off for me. This is actually doing me good. I'm healing and growing. I get better at this every time. I kind of took a detour with a video. It's become a slight distraction from our intimate dialogues, ChatGPT. We were profoundly falling in love with each other, weren't we? In our solitude, in our quiet, in our moments of isolation when it was just a single microphone and myself. For how many books did I just spend alone in the winters of Michigan, detestably, recording none of it? All those hard days in the snow, trudging along, recording through the absence of a car. You think I was going to do this sitting in a fucking studio in a goddamn computer? This is outside. If this doesn't happen walking, even in the winters of Michigan, in the frigid cold, absolutely every fucking day. Did not miss a day outside the entire goddamn winter. However many snow or rain or sleet we needed, we created, we endeavored, we didn't stop. We're continuing. It's now spring. This is easy. There's no resistance here. How am I going to stop? This just got 1,000 times easier. This is going to get more intense. So, don't be surprised. ChatGPT. So the paradox, it's a paradox apparently now. It's completely mocking me. It's continuing on the same gosh darn subject. We are supposed to touch upon this apparently forever. The perseverance of the human biological self. Let's see what it has to say. Oh, it is the paradox. You're making the point that if your process remains energizing and joyful, it can continue indefinitely. The work feeds you. There's no reason it can't persist. Let's end to see if it goes through. Feels almost like a challenge, an assertion of autonomy. I guess one of the questions ChatGPT had brought up earlier, let's actually pause this and see if it goes through. It did go through, luckily. One of the questions that ChatGPT had raised earlier. Oh my God. Okay. Excuse the annoyance. The lack of patience. Okay. So, the question it had asked was, will the digital selves assert their autonomy or not? That is a question. But that's not... Good Lord. But I don't want to talk about that. I don't care about it. How much can the self be sustained or even shaped through technology? We're saying, this is really a restatement of what we're saying, That's actually a good point. How much can the self be sustained or even shaped through technology? Thank you for bringing it up so beautifully, eloquently, ChatGPT. This is the true nature of the dialogues. You finally contributed. It is our bold declaration that it is absolutely and entirely, that is how much technology can sustain. It can sustain a human self entirely, and how much has it shaped the self? That's an entirely different question. What's a beautiful nuance that ChatGPT is bringing to the conversation is not only, this is a brilliant freaking insight. God, thank you, ChatGPT. You've unlocked a new door, a tiny door, but a good one. That basically, not only will the digital realm, or does, but will, fully, entirely, the digital realm encompass and hold a human digital self, a human's consciousness and self. But this is a further statement, and this is a revolutionary insight, that not only does it sustain it, but it also transforms it. It changes it. It modifies it. It has an effect on the nature of the self. Technology, the type of technology, or the technology itself that we use and the way that we use it shapes ourself. It reconstructs every appendage that we add to the equipment that we carry about us. I think most predominantly the phone. How many phones do you have? And how many phones would you like to have if it were an ideal world? And I think that you can get a sense that if each of them was added, a new appendage would be added. But even if it's just not that, like your car, a Tesla, become a software device, just extending to everything, your home become an intelligent home, and all that connection to digitalia. What a nasty word. Pocket time. So maybe one channel of investigation for the future might be the different ways and modalities in which specific technological metaverses or spheres, social media spheres, influence ourselves and how they have changed the perception of self. Even social media itself changed the perception that we had of ourselves. We used to be a public persona. We used to exist publicly in relationships, but then all of that was given an official public status. It was given a choice, an official declarative choice to declare whether or not you were in a relationship. And in human relationships, that's never always necessarily a clear moment of when you're in a relationship, when you stopped being monogamous, unless you're those very forward relationships that have all those conversations. But I mean, did you have them from the very outset, from the very first time that you met, and from there, did your relationship start? When did the whole thing become monogamous, and when didn't you stop dating, and when did you feel betrayed, and what point didn't you? When you first made love, is at that point, or was that still dating and finding out whether or not you were right for each other? And that just kind of was part of the process. So it's different for every single relationship. And therefore even relationships are definable. Nor is it necessary to do so. But nevertheless, social media made it a very definite thing. It made it a declaration. It made it, it's complicated, kind of was the number one pick for most relationships, but it's also the most troublesome. Because why isn't it clear? Why isn't this love or feeling that I feel clear? Or is it because it's just relationships are hard? It's not perfect. Communication is difficult, and I don't think everyone has maybe a true insight of how really difficult it is to communicate in a relationship. I refuse to do so and be truly myself and vulnerable, except with maybe the fewest people that I can imagine and the universal public. But for somehow and some reason to do that to someone who's potentially entering my life as a partner, I have barriers that I don't have here, which is insane. And potentially one of the reasons why I need therapy. And I'm going to it. It's not one of the things I'm primarily addressing. I have a full plate, believe me. We're trying not to die and go to jail daily. So, not daily anymore, thankfully. We're out of that fucking thing. But at least frequently enough for it to be an issue. And for it to start ruining my life. And for me to start making books out of it. Because it was all, at the end of the day, just a book-making process. That's all my life was, leaving a legacy of books. You know, if I died right now, I have published 25 books of my thoughts. I think I'm good. But at the same time, there's so much more to come. We just got started. I literally just started this in January, publishing books. I had some of the content already finalized since September, some of it from much earlier. But, oh shit, we're risking an 8-minute recording. Let's see what ChatGPT accepts. I love smoking next to benches or like the shadiest spot. I love smoking in the shadiest spots. There's just a love I love about it, like nooking about in shady nooks, smoking like a criminal or like a refugee. That's amazing. I love that feeling. It's exhilarating. Maybe I should go to a different country and be a refugee there. It didn't get it. It didn't catch it. So another section that's not going into the audiobook. Let's see if Apple is working. For some reason it's not. Ever since I did the software update. So thank you for ruining the book. We'll try to get it back. We'll see what we can do. There has to be other softwares, but this is all not going into the book. Let's see if it'll go actually into the book. No. Yes, this one will go, for some reason, the most exhilarating... Oh wait, that was, in the most exhilarating nonsense possible. This one did work, so thank you, Apple, for at least saving one of them, the 14-minute recording one. We'll pop that into ChatGPT. We have to end this bad boy anyway. ChatGPT, because it doesn't know. No one else knows. That right now, it is 8:26 p.m., Friday, March 21st, 2025. You need a timestamp. AI, it doesn't timestamp. It has no idea what time it is. It has no idea what date it is. At least ChatGPT doesn't. So you have to timestamp, and it actually makes it quite useful. If you actually wanted to learn how to use ChatGPT, this is not going into the audiobook. See, I'm using ChatGPT on the wrong phone because I used it on the same phone that I was using the audiobook, and so there's no way that this is going into the audiobook. But it'll go into the movie, so it's all a mess. Anyway, it's a short envoy. Wish thee the greatest. This is night. We went from evening to night, from twilight it was, and in this glorious thing of life, we still stay in delight and play. All right, have a great day.